dire warning from one of the country's most respected authorities on earthquakes. When the big one hit Southern California, damage could be much greater and disruptions to our lives could last much longer than most of us ever imagined. Kcams political reporter Dave Bryan joins us with details of that sobering prediction. Dave.
Yeah, obviously, Sylvia, we're not talking about a small shake. This is what the scientists call a major credible earthquake. It happens once every 150 or 200 years. Nonetheless, a frightening message. The title of the lecture this week to a scientific group meeting in San Francisco was shocking enough. Imagine America without Los Angeles. That's not a headline in some tabloid. It was a presentation to the American Geophysical Union. And the conclusions about the expected impact of a major San Andreas earthquake on LA and Southern California are sobering, to put it mildly. Well, the shakeout report from the U.S. Geological Survey estimates it could take 6 months for the broken water pipes to be replaced across Southern California after the earthquake. And they say that while the Northridge quake, which was pretty big, directly affected about 500,000 people, a maximum credible earthquake on the San Andreas Fault could affect 10 million Californians. Sylvia, a lot to think about.
Yeah. That's quite a warning. Imagine America losing Los Angeles. That's the claim of a leading earthquake expert, saying California is not ready for a major quake, one that goes far beyond the devastating 1994 Northridge earthquake, where we could see the loss of life and homes, not to mention the emotional hardship, if and when a powerful earthquake rocks the San Andreas Fault. On the phone with us, Lucy Jones, USGS Science Advisor for Risk Reduction. And Lucy, you gave a lecture this week, the title, Imagine America Without Los Angeles. Why did you choose that title?
Well, the subtitle was Natural Disasters and the Complexity of Modern Society. So we're not talking about killing everybody in Los Angeles. The life loss is probably small. But our societies are increasingly complex and dependent upon the functioning of complex systems, electricity, water, and now communications and internet. And each time we make life better with modern society, we're increasing the vulnerability. And it has actually been 20 years since the last really damaging earthquake in the United States was Northridge. And when the Northridge earthquake happened, the World Wide Web did not yet exist. And so think about everything about our economy that's dependent on that, and we really don't know how it's going to function during a big earthquake.
We're actually showing some amazing footage that we have from 1994. What is the scenario that you're projecting if an earthquake of this magnitude hit on the San Andreas Fault now?
Okay, so we're talking about the big San Andreas earthquake, which would be actually a 7.8, substantially more energy released than Northridge, and with strong ground motion more where the peaks are. Northridge was actually a near miss. The really strong ground motions were up in the mountains. So we're looking at the San Andreas, what we call the shakeout scenario. We did the evaluation a few years ago, came up and said $200 billion in losses, with the business interruption costs doubling the cost of the event. But actually, that's the best case scenario. We're starting to understand how catastrophic events affect modern society. We've got data now from New Orleans, and in just 7 years, they've lost more out of lost economic output since Katrina than they lost in Katrina itself.
That's interesting. That's interesting context for us. Lucy, we hope you come back on the program. We always like talking to you, and as a Californian, I always got my eye on some of this earthquake news, as do some other members of our team. Lucy, great to have you back with us. Thank you very much.